Good afternoon, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me again. I really appreciate it, and I'd like to say a big thank you to all the subscribers, all the old and new. Really appreciate you taking the time to watch these videos. Yeah, without you guys the channel wouldn't be possible, so really do appreciate it. Thanks a lot. So today I'm going to insulate the ceiling. When I bought the van, I'll put some pictures up. It was a very rudimentary conversion, and I've done a lot of work, but one thing I should have done, which I didn't do, is insulate the ceiling. And I'm really into winter photography, so I like to go out in the van as soon as it gets really cold and get as much photography done as I can. But the heat just disappears through this, so along with a couple of additions I'll show you on the next video. Yeah, we need to get it more winterized, including some Michelin Climate Cross Climate 2 tyres, which I'm having fitted just after Christmas. Yeah, and then hopefully next year I'm going to do a Norwegian road trip in winter, and also a Romanian road trip in winter, hopefully up sort of Carpathian Mountains, do some photography around there. Really looking forward to that. But for now I need to get this winterized, so yeah, start the time lapse. Typically, typically there's one screw that I just cannot get to without taking the cupboards out, and I'm not doing that because the electrics are all screwed in down the bottom, the batteries, the gas and everything. So what I'm going to have to try and do is push the insulation through the ceiling without pulling the wires on the LED lights, so that's going to be a bit of a challenge. So I'm going to have to find a bit of a stick and try and get it through. The good news is there is a bit of foam insulation over the top, so not foam, reflective, foam-backed reflective material, but still there's quite a cavity between them, so I'm going to stuff some I think it's Diall insulation, the B&Q plastic insulation, recycled bottles, and just push that in. Hopefully that will give a decent degree of insulation without having to take the rest of the roof down. That's a bit of a shame, but there's no way that I'm going to get to that without taking all of the cupboards apart. So yeah, on to the next bit. so I've done the insulation of the roof. It's not perfect, but it will do through this winter, and then going to Scotland in January, so I know I'll have that extra layer of insulation, that extra feeling of confidence that I'm going to be warm enough during that period, so that's great. I'm going to spend about 12 days up there, 3 days Glencoe, 3 days at Assynt area, 3 days Skye, and a little bit of driving around. So looking forward to that. Mostly wild camping, but a few websites as well to recharge, use the internet to upload a vlog or two, and also any campsites or any wild camping area that I do choose is going to be well away from any villages, so as not to antagonise the locals. That's the last thing I want to do. And I'll also clear up and take any other rubbish that I find in any park ups away with me as well, so be doing a little bit of a clean up while I'm up there. So now the roof's done, onto the Bureck thermostatic controller for the Chinese diesel heater. So these are a thermostat that clones the signal from your Chinese diesel heater remote control, which is here. So it clones the on and off signal, so these work on a 433 megahertz signal. So this clones the on and off signal from the remote control and uses that to turn your diesel heater on and off remotely via a thermostat. So now if you have one of these, you've got some form of thermostatic control for your van. Normally Chinese diesel heaters, they get up to temperature on their thermostatic controllers, get up to temperature and then spool down to their lowest setting, which then means that it's continually running and you just get warmer and warmer. So having something like this will give you the opportunity to have a thermostat in your van. So pretty simple to use. I've had a little bit of a play. I updated the firmware, which came when they sent this out from America. I'll put the link in the description below. They also sent out an email with a firmware update, so that's pretty handy. Updated that, very easy to do. So I'll just go through the settings. So pretty much you've got your diesel heater here. So we've got the current temperature, the target temperature on the swing. So that means that once the target temperature is reached, the current temperature will drop by 4 degrees, and then when it hits 16 degrees the heater will kick back on again using the thermostat in this. It's actually warming up because I'm holding it and my body heat is warming the temperature sensor up. So that's one thing to be aware of when you're setting these things up. So it's pretty easy to get around. Press enter and then you can scroll through your menu left and right to set your time, your main menu, thermoactive to mean that the thermostat is running. Sorry, schedule on and off, which I've set one schedule. Then back through to set your swing. You can set your swing to however you want, to 1, and then up to 5 or 6. Again, that's the difference between the current temperature and the predefined temperature that you want the van to heat up to. So I'm going to go to 4, press enter on that. Pretty easy. Press these two buttons together here and then you go into the main menu, Then you can go left and right to go through there. Use the battery, yes, because it's a battery operated one. Fail safe, yes. That means if for any reason this fails, the battery runs out, gets critical and runs out, it will send an off signal before it runs out, so leave that on for sure. Reset to factory defaults. Set units, I'm in Celsius, so that's cool. Calibration, I don't need to do anything with that. Single point, clone remote, which is what you do when you actually clone your remote control. So we go into the menu here and we press the on your remote control. On code received, press the off code, press the off button, off code received, success. So it now knows the signals from this so that you can control your diesel heater. Self-test we don't need to do. Calibrate to disable. They're different calibration modes, I'm not going to touch those. And the firmware update, which is what I've just got, so that's fine. So we go back to the standard menu there. So schedules you can set, so I've set at 5:30 in the morning, temperature 50 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know why this hasn't gone to Celsius on here. I've set it to Celsius in the menu. Swing of 4 degrees, so that means in the morning the van will warm up and I won't be too cold before I go out to do some photography. And you can set 4 schedules, 3, 4 for different times. So if you've got a large van, or you've got family staying in the van, you're going out, etc, etc, you can just set that as you would a normal thermostat in your home. So pretty simple, to be honest with you. Let's get back to there. So as I say, that's the Burek thermostatic remote control. The charge port down there, USB mini. Slots on your back to hang it on the wall. This is your QR code for your manual, which is really easy to set up. And that's pretty much it. So it's a perfect solution for thermostatic control in your van, especially when you've got a situation where you don't want the diesel heater running all the time. The only issue is that you do get a higher battery usage because the glow plug is powering up and then the heater is going into cooling mode when it turns off, so you do have to be careful of that. So you do need to keep an eye on your battery, or to have a little bit more battery. I've got 200 amp hours of Renogy lithium batteries, so should be fine. So yeah, there you go. That's the Burek thermostatic controller for Chinese diesel heaters. The Burek CD Chinese diesel. Okay, so we've got that set up the top there. At the moment it's heating the van up to 20 degrees and then it should turn off, so let's leave that heat up and see what happens. So we're getting close to 20 degrees, so hopefully this should kick the diesel heater off, and then there'll be a 4-degree swing. So 20 degrees is the target figure, that's our target temperature, and 19 degrees is our current temperature, that's in Celsius. We've got a swing of 4 degrees, so this should get up to 20 degrees Celsius, or maybe 21 degrees Celsius, and then kick off. And then it says underneath the menu there, heating. So once we get to 20-21 degrees, it should kick off, and then the temperature will gradually drop to 16 degrees, and then it should kick back on again. As I've explained previously, the issue with that is that it uses a fair amount of amps to restart the heater or turn the heater off. So you do need a reasonable battery bank, or to be travelling, solar charging, etc, etc, or plugged in at a campsite. So I'm going to stay up in Scotland for about 12 days, and I'm going to campsite a few of those days and wild camp the rest, but nowhere near villages. I'm going to stay away from villages and stay out in the wild so as not to upset anybody. And generally, while I'm camping, if there's rubbish about near me, I'll pick it up and take it with me as well, so improve the spot that I'm at if need be. Come on. 20 degrees, so we're just reaching 20 degrees. There we go, and the heater has gone off. Now it's going to go through its cooling phase, and then we'll get a swing of 4 degrees, so back to 16 degrees before the heater will kick on again. So that's good. So there you go. Thank you very much for taking the time to join me again, and I really appreciate you watching these videos, and hope you enjoy. Hope you enjoyed that little bit of information about the Bureck heater. Really handy for your little camper van, or your bigger camper van really. Certainly looking forward to going to Scotland and using it up there in the winter, which is going to be perfect. Oh, we're getting amber alerts for the aurora, so there's got to be some aurora action going on somewhere. So, thank you very much. Catch you on the next one.